Episode 4. We are back. We have another jam-packed show for you guys. And we're going to hit a lot of topics tonight. We're going to hit a lot of things, but I think we got to start off with the news, the big news that broke in the last 2 weeks. We're all big Star Wars fans, but we know that the Obi-Wan has been the story for the past, 10 days, 2 weeks, Tim? How long has it been?
Up and down story.
It's been probably about 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
Like seesaw.
My God. So let's quickly go through this just to fully understand how this could just.
Let's go back to the beginning with the announcement.
Okay, they announced in the summertime of 2019.
That was D23?
I believe it was D23. Kathleen Kennedy comes out. Ewan McGregor. Everyone was anticipating.
And it was kind of said, right?
Yeah, it was kind of known, but it was still not locked in yet. But we kind of figured at this point it had been so long that they were going to do it.
But before this, it's been years of anticipation and hoping that they do this. I mean, everyone wanted this to be the original Rogue One. They wanted this to be the original spinoff of the Skywalker saga. So.
Without a question. Like, we knew that was like the one story that everyone's been asking for. We keep talking about how no one wanted Solo, but everyone wanted Obi-Wan. That's not even a question. So,
which goes back to the fucking point from the beginning of just not listening to the fan base of like, why do? Okay, I liked Rogue One a lot.
Me too.
But then, I don't know, just bad decisions. Okay, so after D23,
so they do the D23. They bring out Ewan McGregor. Everyone's happy. Kathleen Kennedy, for whatever reason, decides to come out and say, the scripts are done. We're going to be ready to start shooting next year.
And she actually said the scripts are done.
Yeah,
right?
which was, I'm glad she said it, but at the same time, you're volunteering extra information. Like, no one looks to hear the scripts are done. You just say you're going to be in production, and then you go about your way. So then what do we hear? After being quiet for a while, what did we hear 2 weeks ago?
It was production started. When?
No. Well, we heard that they were still doing pre-production because they might be still casting some people.
Okay.
So we weren't supposed to start shooting yet, so people were being patient.
But so what? This is considered still pre-production, but it was more than just us sitting in the room and
right. It's at the point where they're
yeah.
getting like things together to get ready to start shooting. They're still like
there
casting people.
There was cast and there was crew.
Yes.
Somewhere.
Yeah, cast and crew are working. Yes.
Okay.
So then, what did we hear 2 weeks ago? Oh, this whole thing might be canceled. And I'm like, nah, that ended up being fake news. It was nonsense. Okay, whatever. Some people were saying it. Maybe they're going to turn it back into a movie.
I said if this thing gets canceled forever, it's
a death nail. It's devastation.
They fucked up.
Kathleen Kennedy.
Can't do that.
No.
You can't do that. This has been anticipated since what?
Like easily
years since Disney bought Star Wars.
I would say since after we started talking about this, since after
and since he would always say he always would say I would love to reprise my role.
Ewan McGregor said that was one of the things he said at D23. He said I've been lying about this for 4 years because for 4
everyone
years
asked
people have been asking him, are you going to do the movie? And he's like, oh, I'd be interested.
He's saying is I want to do it. I haven't gotten a call from anybody.
Right, which was a lie, but he had to lie. Okay, so then we hear that maybe they're going to turn it into a movie, which, again,
I'd rather that.
Prefer the movie.
That's what we wanted from the beginning.
Yeah, but at this point, I don't even know if I wanted that because, again, do you want them to keep changing things?
Exactly.
So I was like, okay, whatever. Then they end up, so that all ended up being nonsense, whatever, everyone forgot about it. And then like a week ago, we hear the show has been delayed indefinitely because Kathy doesn't like the scripts, to which I have to say, okay, then why did you say that the scripts were done and you were happy with them? Now all of a sudden the scripts aren't good enough. You want to change things, and now we're going to delay it indefinitely, even though they're still going to do it. And then they get a hold of Ewan McGregor, which, not his fault. He's being a good soldier. He has to say what he has to say. He said, it's not a delay. We're still going to release at the same time. We're just pushing back shooting. And I'm like, but listen, man, it's not the same. If you're pushing back shooting, they were supposed to. The plan was to shoot in this August, this summer. And now they're saying that they're not going to start shooting until January. Okay, then obviously, I'm not blaming you.
How long does it take to shoot, though?
We don't know. It's probably going to take at least 6 months.
You think 6 months?
Probably 4 to 6 months, I'm assuming. And
I don't know. They could shoot these things quick.
They could. I heard a rumor, too. Tell me if you guys heard this. They were going to cut the show down from 6 episodes to 4. And really focus the story down.
It better be
it better not be 4 30-minute episodes.
They can't be Mandalorian. They cannot be Mandalorian.
If it's anything like The Mandalorian, I'm telling you right now, it's going to suck.
Yeah, I agree. If you're going to do 4 episodes, they better be like an hour and a half. Yeah. Well, they're not going to be 2, but...
They have to be 4 episodes?
Well, that was a rumor. We don't know for sure.
This is becoming...
It's
just bad news. Kathleen Kennedy is a horrible, horrible, putrid studio head. She does not
Agree.
know what the fuck she's doing.
She started off
Every
very well, though.
fucking project has had an issue, just about.
Every-
How many
and
directors
everyone.
and screenwriters have gotten fired?
I can't even count
10?
them all right now. Oh yeah.
Let's go through them.
Okay, well,
Episode 7.
Michael Arndt. They fired Michael Arndt, the first guy that was supposed to write 7 when they
Okay,
fired him. Michael
fired
Arndt
him.
got fired. He
Okay.
wasn't. It didn't work out. He admitted. He said he couldn't come up with the story.
Yeah, know why? Because no one can fucking appease her.
Right.
And she doesn't, dude. She doesn't know what the fuck she's doing.
Yeah, so Michael
her
Arndt got
job
fired,
is to literally make these things go smooth.
to facilitate the production.
and she's literally everyone's had a problem. Okay, let's go through it. That's one.
Okay,
Who's
and then
next?
for episode 8, it seemed like the production went well, but we know we didn't like the movie. But we heard that there was some conflict between Ryan and Kathy going on because even she pushed him a little bit further than even he wanted with some of the decisions.
That seemed like that was the smoothest movie, and it turned out to be the worst fucking movie.
Right, exactly. So even if you argue it's the smoothest, we didn't like it.
Okay, then next. Well, then next.
Rogue One.
Rogue One. What happened?
Look what happened with Gareth Edwards.
Fired.
No, they didn't. No, they told him they had to make the changes. They had to bring in Tony Gilroy, and Tony Gilroy came in and helped save that movie. So
Because
he
they
would have
wouldn't
been
like
fired.
the final cut. Yeah.
Yeah, right. He would have been fired because they didn't like the production. They didn't like what's going on. That movie they said was
But
almost
they
a
killed
train
that
wreck.
movie.
When did they bring him in?
killed
They did,
that
but it was a
movie. That
problem.
that was
When
a
did they
great
bring
movie.
him in?
Toward the end, I think they said about 67% of the way
Okay,
there.
so
They're
that's
like,
another.
Tony Gilroy's got to come and save
the
this
movie.
movie.
Did turn out well.
Right, but there was a
The
big
only
problem.
one. Okay,
Right.
big problem.
Okay, then
Okay.
So look what happened with Solo. We could talk here for another hour about what happened.
Yeah.
behind
I
the scenes
like
of
Solo though.
I know. Again, I like Solo.
Fire
I like-
directors.
I like
Yeah.
Force Awakens. I like Rogue One, and I like Solo.
Right.
Everything else,
Solo was okay,
Solo
but
was good.
again, problems.
Solo was good.
I think Solo was
Problems.
very good. And look, Ron Howard saved that movie. He had to reshoot 70% of that movie.
Okay, so they
because Lord and
fired Lord and
Miller.
Miller.
Yeah,
They fired Lord and
Lord
Miller. Okay. Okay. So the point. Okay, let's keep going.
And then 9. Look, we've talked about it endlessly. All the problems, all the script changes, everything that they had to do. Colin Trevorrow got fired. They didn't want to make the changes. Terrio and JJ had to do this, had to do that. They weren't happy. The JJ
Another
cut.
firing on 9.
Yeah, exactly. Colin Trevorrow got fired.
Yeah.
and that was like a year and a half ago.
Yep.
And then and that's when JJ came on, and then he said he needed more time because 9 was supposed to be a spring release, and they moved it to December.
So.
Am we missing anything?
You're Disney and you're Star Wars and you're running the head of the studio.
That kinda
Your
shit
job,
happens, though.
that kind of shit happens, and your job is to solve problems that come up. But your job is also to not waste the studio's money and pay people that you hired. Didn't hire the right people in the first place.
That is
her job is to, from the beginning, try to get it right. And I don't know if it's her ego. I don't know if it's whatever it is. She's not doing a good
there's
job.
obviously
There should
a
not be
problem.
every movie you do. There's an issue. You
I feel
shouldn't.
like there's issues on all movies though.
There hasn't not been this
there
many
is.
issues
Like, there has to
with
be.
Marvel movies.
No, and the only one that we've all heard about that was the one problem was Edgar Wright with Ant-Man. With
Dude,
Kevin
there's not
Feige.
that. There's
and that, and we
dude.
still turned out
It's
to be
not
good.
normal to have directors be fired off the sets halfway through shooting.
No.
That's happened
No,
multiple
but like
times.
pushing shoots back and all that shit.
That
and-
production
and-
stuff you can't control, but we're talking about firing screenwriters and directors more than once.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
multiple
It keeps
times.
happening.
And you keep letting her hire these people. You're vetting them. You're fucking. It's like me owning a business. I own a restaurant, and I keep hiring waiters, and 2 weeks they're horrible waiters, and
Right.
doesn't.
And it doesn't happen once or twice. It keeps happening.
Yeah, and if I'm the major D or the person doing that, and the person who runs the restaurant, aren't they gonna come to me and say, dude, what's going on with you hiring these people? You're hiring all fucking idiots.
Right.
Like I'm not gonna let you hire anybody anymore because you don't know what the fuck. You don't know how to hire people.
Notice it's kind of the point
You shouldn't
now.
have to fucking hire people and then problem solve. That stuff
Right, don't
comes
figure
up.
out after. You're
Yeah.
Right, right, exactly.
Do
Anticipate.
it,
the
and
problem.
after you've made the mistake, don't you want to get it fucking right?
yeah, no,
Like
exactly. No,
what the fuck? It's
exactly.
not like it's like she's horrible. And people could say was one of the best producers of all time
Which I
because
keep
she was
hearing
on
people say that.
Indiana Jones and everything else. Who knows what she really did? Did she fucking bring Steven Spielberg his coffee in the
Oh
morning?
yeah, she's a yeah, exactly. The joke
That's
that she's a
fine. And you know what I
secretary.
compare it to? This.
Okay.
There's in the NFL, who I don't know if people are that familiar with the NFL that listen to this. I'm sure you are. She was a mega producer on those movies. So I would say she was like a coordinator, an offensive coordinator,
Yeah,
or defensive
she's
coordinator.
one of the head
She had to
people.
do one specific job. It entailed a lot. She was an assistant to the guy directing the whole movie, right?
Right.
It happens in the NFL all the time. There's a great offensive coordinators, a great defensive coordinators. They don't run the whole team. They don't have to worry about necessarily the locker room.
They have their niche.
They have to run the offense or the defense or call the plays. All the time it happens that these guys try to go out on their own and become the head coach, and they cannot fucking coach the team.
Right.
It's everything. You have to do offense, defense, special teams, control the locker room, and they just can't do it. She is not cut out to be the head coach.
It's clear.
It's clear.
It's so
they need to
clear.
fucking fire her last year, and I don't know if they're scared to do this because of she's a woman and
or the power she has in the industry. She's got a lot of power.
She's got to
in
get
the
out.
industry.
The fans fucking hate her.
They really
the
don't.
fans hate her. She's botched almost every movie. George Lucas isn't happy with the direction of it, and you know what? Frankly, Solo bombed.
It did.
And the movies aren't making as much money as they want them to make. No matter how much they make over $1 billion,
at the end of the day, they're making
comparing it to Marvel.
Yeah.
They're not making what they should be making.
No, that's true.
And half the fan base fucking hates them. So what else do we need to get her the fuck out?
Yeah,
I mean, it's
at the point now where honestly, like even someone who's just been, I don't want to say I've been defending her, but I'm like, oh, let me give her a chance. Let's see what happens in the next movie. You know, George appointed. That's the thing too. George appointed her, so I was always willing to give her a little bit more slack. But as you said, it's so beyond clear at this point that there is a common issue. One of the movie pundits I watch on YouTube even said, he's like, there can only be so much defending going on where you have to say, oh man, like this keeps happening and it keeps being a problem with all these different people that you're bringing in. You have to look at the common denominator.
Yeah,
and
it's her.
Kathy.
It's her.
Kathy.
Yeah,
it's really.
I'm sick of it. Because I used to defend her a little bit.
How do you?
I'm done. I'm done with
it starts with 8. They split the fan base with 8, and then that it just really spiraled.
And even Ryan Johnson said that they forced
snowballed.
it.
From there.
She. It's not. It's everyone. It's not. Eventually, if you keep saying it's everybody else, you got to look in the fucking mirror, and it's you. You either can't get along with people, and it's not like she's fighting these people on these scripts and everything, and like, but these movies are turning out to be fantastic.
Yeah, they're not like undeniable masterpieces.
No, then you'll say, okay, then whatever. The final cut of it was great.
Art
we
from
don't
adversity.
mind. No, they're still not good. I don't like most of them.
Like Rogue One.
Yeah,
Right.
if they're all Rogue One, I'd be happy. But you're firing directors and doing everything, and the movie's still turning out to be shitty. A lot
or mediocre.
Or mediocre.
Right. They're not. They're not worth the trouble. They're getting to the point where they're not worth the trouble.
So it's not like you're saving anything by doing all this either. You're doing all. You're firing people and all this commotion, and the movie's still not turning out good.
And let's face it,
dude. Anytime something is like not smooth from the like, it's just. And that's what I'm worried about Obi-Wan with, because it's just following the same bullshit.
That's what it's so frustrating about this. It's like you figured you hadn't heard anything in a while, then she comes out and announces and says the scripts are done and has Ewan McGregor and all this, and then you don't hear anything for a while, and then it's delayed indefinitely and the scripts aren't ready. And I'm like, but okay, then why did you volunteer the information that the scripts were done if now you're going to say that they're not good enough?
They need to like offer something.
Now, that's another thing about Kathy that I don't like.
They need to offer something because they know they're in a down
dude,
position.
they're and
They
I said this
know.
to you a while ago.
They know.
They're panicking.
No, you did say that.
Like
They
as
have
much
to be.
money and
know,
fame and clout that Star
And
Wars
90s
has.
crossed $1 billion,
Dude,
which
they don't. They're not. These movies are not making the money they wanted them to make. Like, trust me.
Forget the movies. They're still making $1 billion. The toys, they're getting murdered on merchandise.
They are, right?
And I don't care when anyone says, "Oh, the movies are still making $1 billion." Yeah, they are, and a movie studio will always be happy with $1 billion. I don't care what anyone
But
says.
not necessarily if
fucked
it's
up with Baby Yoda.
not
Man.
necessarily if it's
they
Star
did.
Wars. You know, They're happy with Joker. That made $1 billion. Okay,
well, that's a monumental.
But that's okay.
success.
But
The budget was 60.
yes,
exactly.
But still, they're not sitting around drinking fucking having beers and saying that we're doing a great job.
Yeah, they're not popping champagne. No.
No.
If you are, then I don't know. You really don't know what you're doing at that point.
I think what their main focus is probably going to be taking their time with this Obi-Wan to cool the fuck down, and then bring it back around with another trilogy.
They just got lucky with
I really think that's what they're.
I think you're right.
They just
fucked up so bad.
They just got lucky with Mandalorian now because people like it.
It's widely loved.
It's
even
liked
though
by
we
a lot
all
of
had
people.
some issues
But it's
with
not.
it, but it's widely loved.
I still think
I
it's
don't
not.
love
I still think it's
I don't
not
love it.
as great
Sorry.
as everyone's making it out to
It's
be.
not, but let's all agree it's widely
I
loved.
think that's
it's a win. It's a huge win for them.
I think people like it more because it's bringing you away from. It's almost like you don't even know what Star Wars kind of. It could
'Cause
just
it's
be
not a
some
saga.
sci-fi
Anybody can watch
TV, and it's bringing you
That's
away
true.
from Star Wars. And I think that's why people like it that much. But it's not some like brilliant, fantastic show.
It's
That's
not.
like
No.
And without Baby Yoda, that show is a flop.
I would agree with that.
Without
Baby Yoda was a big part of it.
He's driving so much
He's
traffic
the
to that
huge-
show.
Dude, he's the
It's a good show.
point.
Very good show.
But Disney can't. They're not gonna fucking hang their hat on the Mandalorian as like this big thing that they did. They need to hit on. If they miss on Obi-Wan, myself included, I'm fucking done with Star Wars because Ewan McGregor is arguably one of the best actors in all of Star Wars. The entire.
I think he's one of the best actors in Hollywood.
And they really need to do this movie the right way. And they have an opportunity to make it
The
like
show.
Yeah.
the show,
don't know
the
if it's
show,
gonna-
the
Yeah,
show.
that's the thing. We really, honestly, like, that's another thing. Kathy's always willing to, that's what I hate about it. One of the things she does. She's always willing to come out and talk and hype things up and be happy and say, hey, look what we did. Look how great. But when there's a problem, look at those problems that's been going on. She doesn't come out. She doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor had to speak at the Birds of Prey red carpet.
You know what it's
premiere or whatever.
exactly like? Dude, you
Right.
can compare it to sports so much. It's like a head coach doesn't know what they're doing.
Right.
And
The head coach of the
they don't know
Browns, they
what
getting
they're
fired
supposed to
quick.
say
Yeah.
to the media. The media is going crazy.
Yeah.
What's going on? What's going on?
It's not fair to you.
They don't know how to draft pick. They don't know how to pick the directors. And
It's a
it's
good-
exactly what it is.
I would love a movie, but I would love maybe like a 2-part movie. I mean, I know that's like
That was talked about before we got all this announcement.
And they
that
have-
would be like a super fandom. Like that's never.
I know.
And me and you were speaking about it the other day. They have the opportunity to not only like bring the fan base back, but to really make like gritty film-esque. That doesn't have to be about lightsabery and really dark, gritty films with emotion and like
That's not gonna happen.
elements of religion and Jesus in the desert.
Right,
Like to really draw. Like they have an opportunity to do that. I think they
Right. They have
will.
a chance to make an
Very
Emmy
dark.
award-winning dark.
I don't-
They
dramatic
can
show
do that.
I
with
don't.
this.
I don't.
That's
I don't
the
see
vision
that.
I have for it.
I agree with that
Because
vision.
you're
I think
talking about some guy
but-
who's just lost everything in his life. He's outcasted to a desert.
PTSD.
He's got nobody. PTSD elements. It's set up perfectly for that.
I like when you say Jesus in the desert. That's a great
the
metaphor.
viewpoint you had of this last trilogy, though. You had a certain view of it.
No, I
and-
did.
and they let you down.
No, they
They're
let
gonna
me
do it
down,
again.
but I
They're gonna
didn't.
do it
I didn't
again.
necessarily have a tone that I wanted for the trilogy. With this, I think you have the opportunity to really like bring someone in who's going to write the scripts that could really write like a real story, like a real emotional
Right.
that could not just a Star Wars story,
Yeah.
because you don't need intense crazy action in this show. You really don't.
No, it's not about that.
no,
it's not.
yeah.
It's not about
you can
lightsabers
really-
and battles and
yeah,
blasters and
yeah.
It's a lot of
It's a lot of story and internal turmoil with him, and him start maybe he questions like
Yeah.
you have so much stuff to do here, and if they fuck this up,
I have to imagine that they saw a problem. That's the only excuse. I don't want to make excuses for them, but I'm just going to try to interpret what happened. I think that they're saying, oh wow, there's a serious problem here. Let's just hold it up. Let's
They're
delay it.
buying
Let's do whatever.
time. They're buying
I think
time.
I agree with that.
They're buying time to set up the next move.
they're scared.
That's-
Obviously,
Oh, they gotta be
you
scared.
can't fuck this up.
Because Clone Wars is only going to last them so long.
that's it.
And then they don't have. And then they have Mandalorian season 2, which I think will be a nice improvement. And then after that, it's like
And
you
as
better
good as
land on
Clone, as good as
Obi-Wan.
Clone Wars is, people always it's a cartoon and she has nothing to do with it. It's Filoni
that's-
and
yeah.
like I don't give her any credit for
Yeah.
Clone.
Well,
I give
that's
her
also why
credit for
That's why Mandalorian went over so well. That's Favreau's project.
yeah.
And look,
I
we didn't hear any
give her
problems with
the only
Mandalorian.
credit I give Disney for is actually allowing them to redo, to having the idea to say, okay, we're going to let you do season 7 of Clone Wars.
Which
Other
I
than
think is
that,
smart.
you don't get any credit. That you didn't create that show.
Nope,
It was
George
done
did.
before you, and everyone for fucking the last 10 years was clamoring for the last season. That they canceled when they
Right.
bought the show.
Yeah, exactly.
They did that. So
And then they say, "Oh well, people like this. Let's bring it back," because they're trying to figure it out. It just blows my mind that they so clearly didn't have a plan for all of this. How do you not? Marvel is sitting there. I don't want to turn this into a big Marvel discussion, but Marvel's sitting there. Plans 5, 7, 8 years in
Marvel's
advance,
the
figuring
Patriots.
everything
You
out.
look at them and say,
Yeah.
what are they doing? How are they executing this? What's their plan? And let's try our best to fucking
Kevin Feige.
copy it.
Is their
That's
dynasty gonna last? Marvel.
I think it only lasts so long, but they're gonna have some problems now with these C-level superheroes.
Yeah, which we're gonna see what they can do with it.
That's really where I'm kind of like.
Even
I
us
don't know.
how interested are we in some of these characters?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch fucking the Vision sitcom. I'm probably not
You know
gonna
what,
watch it. They're coming. They're throwing a lot of content out.
I don't want to just ride the hype train, but I did hear Paul Bettany say the other day that WandaVision is like insanely different and just crazy. Wild. Like he said, I don't know what words he exactly used, but I read the quote and I was like, oh well.
There's so many of these shows.
Plus, it's on Disney Plus.
There's
so
so many of these fucking. I don't even know
Marvel
there's
shows on Disney
there's so many coming out, right?
Yeah. Well, everyone's hyped for Falcon Winter Soldier. They just moved that up.
That one. Yeah,
I'm hyped for that. I will watch that.
I'll watch that
because I like.
There's a million. What are the other ones? Isn't there?
WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier are the two.
But there's more. Remember they came out that whole. Like,
well, a lot of those were movies.
Yeah.
So that's just a whole nother thing that they have to figure out what their schedule is going to be and what they're going to decide to go. And Loki. That's the other one.
Loki.
Yeah.
See,
see, I like Loki. I like Tom Hiddleston.
Can he carry a whole show?
Exactly. Can he carry
about Loki?
Exactly. I don't know if I cared that much. But yeah, guys, listen. Until we hear what the next thing is going to be with these scripts and firing the writer and whatever's going on,
they have a chance.
We don't know.
They have a chance to mend the fan base, to bring the fan base
with
back
Obi-Wan. They do.
And I guarantee you,
and Luke, little Luke's going to be in it. They are casting for little.
I heard
Luke,
that was one of the rumors that they are doing that.
They have to.
I think it's smart.
That you don't love that. You don't love that last episode, but the episode of not the last one, but of Rebels. When Obi-Wan kills Maul and they have Luke and you hear
I love that.
You what's her name?
Aunt
Maru. Yeah. Like that, like dude, can you imagine that on like real film?
I love it. I can't wait. So this is why we're so excited.
Not that scene, but something like that might happen.
There's scenes in the comics that came out in Obi-Wan comics that are canon that like show him show him communing with Qui-Gon. That's the other thing. Yeah. Qui-Gon can be in his voice and showing him saving Luke multiple times from like sand people and stuff.
This is why we're so hyped for it. And they're gonna again.
Butcher.
We have to hear more. So until
get ready for the butcher job.
Hopefully not.
All right, so let's pivot.
All right, guys. So let's move on to our next topic. Obviously, New Year. We want to talk about some of the movies that we're most hyped for. So what we all did is we all sat down and we each picked 3 or 4 movies that we were all interested in. So we just want to talk a little bit about each one of them here. They're in no particular order. We're just going to go by release date. It's not a top 10. So we just want to go through the release schedule and just talk about some of these movies that we're most excited for. So the first one for me, guys, of course, Disney movie. I cannot wait for Mulan in March. I think that movie is just going to be incredible. I know you guys have.
I'm a hard pass.
Yeah, I've never seen.
I'm shocked. You guys are big Disney guys, and you have not seen the animated Mulan. Danny, have you seen Mulan? The animated? Oh man, no one in this room has seen Mulan. The animated. To me, it's one of Disney's all-time top.
But
5
you said
animated.
already they changed like half the story.
Yes, okay, so that's why I'm a little worried about it. I don't want to harp on it too much because we don't know how it's going to turn out. They changed massive things.
Yeah.
Not like Lion King was pretty faithful. We agree on that. Aladdin changed a decent amount of things. This is like
they're
changing the
like,
villain.
like actually like animalist characters like people,
like
right?
everyone knows Eddie Murphy was the dragon. His character is not in this movie, and he's a big part of the animated. So he's not in it. They're changing the villain, which was so important. They're adding an extra villain. They're giving Mulan a sister that she didn't have.
I remember the show we were doing in Portchester. You guys were so hyped on Lion King and Aladdin and shit, and I just was never like super like excited about them doing movies like that. Just redoing the movies from animated to real life.
Yeah.
It just wasn't. I don't know, man.
Well, I think a lot of people would say. So far,
Lion King, I think, was the best one.
I agree. People don't hate. It's weird. I've been watching it last year.
People
hate that movie. I love it. I love Lion King.
I didn't hate it, but it wasn't.
I've seen it on a lot of worst lists. Worst of 2019.
It's not the same.
But the other thing about Mulan too is obviously the leaning hard into the Chinese market. This is going to be an almost 300.
How much is the movie?
They're spending $300 million on this movie.
That's outrageous.
I think the quote was they said it's the most ever given to even a female director who's like unknown, and they're giving her $300 million. I'm like, yo, you are taking such a risk with this movie. And I know it's Mulan, and it's massively popular, and it's going to do well.
But it's not as popular as Aladdin. It's not as popular as Lion King.
It's not Little Mermaid, which they're also making.
It's not.
And I'm like, I love Mulan, but I am also willing to admit it's not Lion King. It's not Aladdin. It's not Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid?
They are. I know someone who, the way we were for Lion King, I know someone who is that level hyped for Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid is even old. I think that came out in the late 80s. 89, I think.
Little Mermaid?
Yeah.
I think
it was before Aladdin and Lion King.
Oh, yeah. Well, those were 90s. That was the Disney.
It was 89. The Disney revival. They call it the Disney.
The Disney revival, yeah, because they had Lion King and Aladdin.
Disney.
Yeah.
Renaissance, they call
Disney
it.
Renaissance. Yeah, they had Hunchback Notre Dame, and they had Lion King, they had Aladdin, and they had all these movies.
How about they have another Renaissance and come up with original ideas again?
No, they're not really relevant.
That'll never happen.
Hey, but listen,
Hollywood is so fucked. Dude.
But hey, listen, they're spending $300 million on Mulan.
Yeah, but
they must
Disney.
have. Yeah, but they obviously
Disney
have that.
leans over and drops $300 million out of their
But they have. But that shows you that they have faith in the project, though. This is not like, oh, everyone loves Mulan. Let's spend 150 and get it out there. No. They're obviously going.
Disney
all
takes a shit and wipes their ass with $1 million.
No, they do.
They do.
But
so
yeah. So listen, I'll be there day one for that one. So I'm
not.
excited. So the next one, again, the craziness of the Marvel Fox thing, the New Mutants, that like rebooted horror Fox acquisition, which people thought this movie wasn't even going to come out. That's how crazy.
It's coming out under Fox.
Well, it's a Fox movie, but now that Disney acquired
bought
them.
it, yeah.
Yeah. So everyone thought the movie was going to be it was shit. But I'm telling you, I saw the trailer a couple weeks ago, and when it finally came out, I'm like, hey, this looks pretty cool. This is like kind of like a weird horror reboot. All the kids are like in this mental hospital.
What are the characters?
It's a lot of like unknowns. Like they're not, like we don't really see their powers.
They're Marvel
like,
characters.
Well, they're mutants. They're just mutants. So I don't know exactly what their
But
powers are.
is not derived from any comic or anything like
is
that?
it a?
I don't think so.
Is it like it's a PG-13 movie?
I think it's PG-13. Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones is the lead.
Oh, okay.
It looks cool. I have to say, it might be horrible, which is why we've been talking about this movie.
That's
for
like a
2
horror
years.
comic-y, horror slash.
Yeah, they
comic?
put them all like in a mental hospital. And they're like,
But does this
shows
come
their
from
powers.
Is this any Marvel?
I think it's
property?
from. I think it's from a comic. I think it's from one of the X-Men offshoots.
Okay, like
so,
yeah, okay.
I think it's gonna be good. I think it might be good. It might be terrible, but I have like a weird, like interesting,
You have a
side
little bit
for
of
it.
interest in it.
Yeah.
More so since seeing the trailer.
Yeah, especially after seeing the trailer, because people were writing this off that it had been delayed for 2 years. It got to the point where they're asking the actors
Who's
when the
directing
movie's
it?
coming out. An unknown smaller guy. I think his name's Josh Boone, but I'm not sure. He's a smaller level guy. But it's gotten to the point where they were asking the actors when the movie's gonna come out, and they're like, "We don't know. We shot this 2 years ago."
Oh, it's done.
Oh yeah. We were talking about this in Portchester like a year and a half ago
it's
that the movie
done.
was coming. Yeah, because they were doing.
What the? It's just sitting there.
It's been sitting. They say it got lost in the Fox acquisition. That was when it was one of the sufferers of that. So again,
Because it doesn't have the brand.
It doesn't.
It doesn't have the brand.
People are just saying New Mutants. That doesn't tell anyone anything. So that's the problem with that.
Right now, yeah, they have. Yeah, they could do that.
So hopefully that one will be a nice surprise for us.
I'm actually down to see that.
Yeah, it might be good. Might be bad, but it might be good. The next one, listen, I'm a big James Bond fan. No Time to Die. This is Daniel Craig's last
one.
one. He said the last one was gonna be his last one, but he's like, okay.
They probably threw the sweetest check his way.
They probably did. They
Yeah.
know because I think they want to move on anyway. I think they want to like get someone else, which is fine. It's been like 10 years.
James Bond is just such a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
so-
the cast. They got Rami Malek to play the bad guy now. They're saying that there's a lot of hints of like connections to old Bond movies, bringing back like old villains. And for guys like my dad who grew up on this stuff, he cannot wait to see it. It's
Still
like,
drinking a Vesper.
yeah, right.
Vesper Martini.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's the last. it's the last one.
Last one for
And that will be
Daniel Craig.
rebooted in a couple of years.
Yeah, the James
Yeah,
Bond's just
just
one of
like
those
fucking
franchises.
everything
It's gonna
else.
be around. It's gonna be around forever.
Yeah, it is.
So
It makes a
the
shitload of
trailer
money.
looks fantastic. I was like, wow, this looks really good because
How old is
It's gonna
he?
be super
He's getting
action.
up there.
he's like
right?
Daniel Craig's like what, like 47?
He was in Star
48?
Wars, wasn't he?
He was a stormtrooper
He was
in
a
7.
stormtrooper.
Yeah, he was like uncredited.
Stormtrooper.
Yeah,
that.
he had a vocal in that.
Yes, I think he's one of the guys that Ray like.
Yeah,
mind
yeah,
fucks
well,
with.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you'll drop your
You'll
blaster.
drop your
Yeah,
blaster.
yeah, exactly.
And leave the door open.
So I'm hyped for that. I think that the two of them, I think Daniel Craig and Rami Malek going head to head would really be good. And the Bonds
I'm
have all been
interested in
good.
that.
I think one of the Daniel Craig Bonds, Quantum of Solace, was not quite good, but I think the other 4 are really good. The other three or 4, however many there've been, have been really good. So I think this one.
When does
will
that come
carry
out?
through. That date on that one is April 10th.
Oh, pretty not
so it's,
too far
so it's
away.
soon. These movies are, they're coming. Okay, so we talking about that one. So the first probably big tentpole movie of the year that I think we're all hyped for, Black Widow, guys. Marvel's next step after Endgame, their first big movie.
I think that's gonna be a good movie.
This is a prequel.
This is the yes, because
It's
we all
not
know.
current
Spoilers,
time.
we know.
This
She
is
died
her
in
solo.
Endgame, so this is her.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
her.
But it's
Solo.
like before she became even.
No, I think this is between. I think this is after Civil War. I think she's coming off of like escaping from the
Oh,
government,
really?
and she's like on the run. That's why she's going back to Russia.
So it's like after the Iron Mans and stuff.
I believe so. I don't know too many details.
I
I'm
thought
trying
it
to-
was maybe.
I don't know
pre-
much about
I
it.
thought
Yeah,
I
I'm
thought it.
interested.
I thought it may have. I don't know this, but I thought it was her leaving the Russian regime and how she became. With
I don't
the
think
United
it's that.
States.
I
You don't
think it
it's
is
that?
like post Civil War. I might be wrong, but I just based on I don't think they want to go too
I
far
just
back.
don't know like who's the villain gonna be.
Oh, it's this guy named I don't know the actor's name, but it's a Taskmaster in the comics, and he's a guy who's interesting because he's a guy. His special power is that he can literally watch his opponent do anything, and then he immediately knows how to do it. He learned. He's a master of technique and skill. So as soon as he sees something, he can do it.
I've heard of Taskmaster.
Who's playing him?
I don't even know. It's a lesser known.
I'm trying to remember the trailer.
Sure.
He's
cast
in it.
looks great.
He's in the trailer.
Yeah, Taskmaster is in the trailer. I like his costume. It's very cool. In the comics, he's like an actual skull-headed dude.
Okay.
But they can't do that, obviously, so they just give him a skull mask.
It kind of looks like what's his name in Civil War. He was what's his name with the skull mask, and he's the reason.
Oh, Crossbones.
He's almost like Crossbones.
Kinda
When I
like
saw
that.
it, I'm like, wow, it almost looks like Crossbones.
So that's kind of similar. I love the cast. You got David Harbour is going to play one of the good guys, whatever his name is, Red Baron or something. And then Florence Pugh, who's had a pretty good last year and a half. She's going to be like her sister.
I think Marvel's going to do well with that.
I think they're going to do I think it's going to be almost Captain Marvel level. I don't think it's going to quite do the billion Captain Marvel did because there was just so much hype behind that.
I think it can because I think she's.
You think Black Widow will be as big as Captain Marvel?
Only because she's been around longer.
She's a big time actress.
She's a big time actress and she's been around longer than Captain Marvel.
But wouldn't you agree that the hype behind Captain Marvel though was way bigger than the hype behind this?
Yeah.
Captain Marvel had a following.
Yeah,
behind
but that's because Captain Marvel was
the first female
responsible for, like she was needed to kill Thanos.
Yeah,
I think that, and because it was Marvel's first female, that they were pushing that hard. The first female thing.
But she's been around the longest. She's one of the OG Avengers. That's what I'm
saying. No, that's true.
So I think she's gonna do well.
I think it might do $1 billion. I wouldn't lock it in, but I would say it's probably gonna do $1 billion. It'll do 850 in its sleep.
Yeah.
But the question is, will it do $1 billion? I'm hyped for it. I think it looks good. I haven't been blown away by the trailers, but
I wonder when she's gonna be. This is probably it for her for this character, right?
Unless they want to make a Black Widow series, and they do Black Widow because they're gonna do Captain Marvel 2. They're gonna do Black Panther 2. Why wouldn't they do?
She's
Black
done it
Widow
a lot.
2?
She's played this role in so many movies.
Yeah, because she was in the Iron Man.
But again, it doesn't. She's been in a lot of. She's been in almost. She might be in more movies than anyone.
Probably.
Up there. She's been in a lot. She was even in the Iron Man.
Her and Tony.
Yeah,
that's true.
Her and Tony. Yeah,
that's a good point. I think it's going to be good.
That's why I think it's going to do well.
It'll do well. Just a question of how well. The next one. Okay, so we're doing May. So May 22nd. Guys, you're not Fast and the Furious fans? I love that. I love this franchise. I am so excited. My dad and I love the Fast and Furious movies.
It's not about cars anymore.
It's not.
It's basically
it's really
just
not.
like what can we blow up and how big can we make the.
I think that's what saved the franchise actually, because I like the first one. The second one is terrible.
To me, the first one is the best one still.
No, it's not. It's not.
I love the first one.
I like the first one.
I love it.
But
that was like actually real about like
the first one is
racing
awesome.
cars in California.
Yeah, the first one
was
good.
an awesome movie.
2 is shit. 3 is like okay. 4 is
what's Tokyo Drift is
3
2.
is 3 is no 2 is the Too Fast Too Furious with Tyrese.
That one was. I remember that one too.
Like
that was
that one
okay.
at all.
But the
I
3 is
hated it.
Tokyo Drift.
I love. I love.
Which one? It was none of their characters in it.
Tokyo
in
Drift.
Japan, right?
That's when they had Han, and then they had Lucas Black, and then Han ended up becoming a recurring character, and then Lucas Black kind of just got pushed to the side because he was not that good. But I people don't like Tokyo Drift. I really like that movie. I find it fun and charming.
He moved to Japan and like he was like the outcast. He was like the white kid in Japan.
the white guy
right?
living in Japan, and he learned how to drive.
Drift. He was like a driver here, but he didn't know how to drift.
Yeah, he was just a speed driver, and they teach him how to drift.
Meat-headed Texas.
Yeah,
driving fast,
like NASCAR.
Yeah, he was a muscle guy, and they said, no, Japan, it's all about style and sleekness. And So I like 3. 4, I don't even barely remember it. It's pretty good. And then 5 is where the franchise changed.
I don't remember it, but it's good.
5's
no, I said it's pretty good. I don't really remember it too well, but it's
5 is when it changed.
5 is when it changed. That's when they brought The Rock in, and it became a crazy heist, action, over the top, ridiculous. Like
is there
the
still
really changed.
How do they still tie the story back into like the original movie?
Just by having the same people.
By the family.
Yeah, they had. Vin always talks about family. Yeah, it's always about family. That's the big.
When is he going to be done with that?
Oh okay. So we can.
Owns that.
He owns a piece of it. And
he's never gonna be done.
9 is coming. No, they're gonna be done.
Why do you think him and The Rock beef?
That is true. That's a big part of it.
Rock do not like.
Well, they have different mentalities of how to work. That's what they argue over. Their different work. Their way they work is different.
Probably because The Rock was getting higher pay than him for.
And he took the franchise and did a spinoff of it.
That's true. Hobbs and Shaw. I think I liked Hobbs and Shaw. That was not bad.
I didn't see that.
It was okay. It was fun. So they're doing 9, and then they're gonna do 10, and that's gonna be it. They're gonna end the franchise. They're gonna do 10 movies. It'll be a 10 complete story.
Take it out back and fucking shoot it.
I think 5 is great.
You like them?
I love Fast and
Oh,
you
didn't?
do? Oh, okay. From the look you had, I thought you were like just disgusted with the because I get for people who don't like them, I totally understand who don't like them. Like if anyone said to me I don't like them, I'd say, oh, okay, I understand. They're just nonsense action car movies. But I think they're really good.
Well,
I love
it's
the
like
characters.
you're like
Guilty pleasure. They're guilty pleasure, fun,
yeah.
stupid movies. I love 5, 6, and 7 and 8. That's the thing. I don't think any of them are bad. I really love what they've been doing with the franchise. So hopefully that one will be. It's going to be huge. It's going to make $1 billion. That's going to be $1 billion. Write it down. It's going to be ridiculous. Okay, so next movie in June, Wonder Woman 1984, another big superhero movie. So you guys did not see Wonder Woman, did you?
No.
Okay.
What that takes place in the 80s too?
No, so the first one took place in like the 40s, in the 50s,
wow.
and now they're jumping it because she's like ageless because she's a god. So now they're just putting a timestamp on it. She's in the 80s now.
They need to jump back in time, and DC needs to jump back in time. And
Well,
start
listen,
over.
that's why
Again,
they
with
need
no
Wonder
tie
Woman.
into anything else, right?
Well, they're still tying in her character to the other DC movies,
They
but
are.
they're very much making these movies their own. Like she's obviously connected because she's in those other movies, but these are very much the Wonder Woman solo adventures.
I can't get into DC, and I feel so bad because I want to.
Me too. I'm the same way. Where it's like, I
just-
really want to love what
I
they do
can't.
sometimes,
Like,
but it's
Justice
just
League
hard.
was on TV this weekend.
It is so mediocre.
It was
it's
so
it's not
bad.
It's not good. It's really
It
not.
was so bad.
I didn't see it.
Listen,
but
they're
it's
riding
that
on.
bad.
It's
watch it.
It's it's
not
mediocre
worth
at
your
best.
time.
It's not as bad as Suicide Squad.
No, it's better. No, it's better than Suicide Squad
Okay.
because you care about the characters and there's good action.
Suicide Squad was
bad.
fucking
It was
horrible.
brutal.
Horrible.
I liked some of it, but it's overall bad.
It's
so-
not. It can't be as bad as that.
Oh no, Justice League is way better than Suicide Squad.
Which isn't really. saying
Exactly,
much.
that doesn't really say much. It's a Wonder Woman. I have faith in it too because they know what a big franchise this is going to be for them, and they pushed it back. Wonder Woman, I think, was supposed to come out the end of last year, end of 19, and they pushed it to the June
DC
date.
has such. You always say you're like they have the biggest characters.
They
I was
do.
just about to bring
Even
that up.
in the female superheroes, Wonder Woman is
Wonder Woman Woman's been around for
Wonder
70
Woman
years.
is the
Superman, Batman, and
Wonder Woman.
And look, they have the Flash. Everyone knows who Flash
The
Gordon
Flash.
is.
Yeah.
Like
Superman,
you have those
Batman,
characters.
and Wonder Woman is. There is no Captain Marvel. People don't know who the fuck
Go on
Captain
the
Marvel
street.
is.
9 out of 10 people know who Wonder Woman is instead of Captain
Wonder
Marvel.
Woman is the female superhero.
Yeah,
You know,
and she was around since the 60s with
and
Linda
they
Hamilton.
fucked it
No,
up.
Linda Carter.
They fucked it up big time.
Well,
they had
you-
Kathleen Kennedy running that bitch.
No, well, you thought you liked the original Wonder Woman, the one that just came out a couple years ago. Everyone liked it.
Awesome. Way better than Captain Marvel. I don't like to compare just because it's female versus female, but it's not even close. You want to talk about Marvel versus DC? Wonder Woman is 10
I think
times
it was
better than Captain
The
Marvel.
Superman movie was
I
good.
love Man of Steel. I
love
don't know why
Man of
people don't
Steel.
like that movie. I
It
love
was
Man of
I
Steel.
liked it a lot.
Me too.
Where's the hate for Man? You know, guys notice there's a lot of hate for Man of Steel. I really love it.
I liked it, but then when they did the Batman versus Superman,
That didn't
They
work.
fucking lost me.
Yeah, that didn't work.
They
work
fucking
out.
lost me.
Work out
dude.
as well.
First of all, can DC calm the fuck down with Batman, please?
Done that
What do you
I've
want?
had
Well, they're in
enough
the
of Batman.
Well, it's Warner Brothers. What do you want them to do? They're in the Batman
They
business.
they have Superman.
I know, which they're not doing. It's
That's
so
what I'm
weird.
saying.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
They have Superman.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Man of Steel. Where's Man of Steel 2?
Yeah.
I love. I don't know.
DC is fucking up big time, dude.
I think
they fucked it up.
They got
I
problems.
And they're
think
starting to do-
Superman
who's this
is
Pattinson?
I think
Pattinson?
Superman
The new
is
Batman is Pattinson.
honestly
Yeah.
when you sit down and try to write a script, Superman, it's not easy.
It's not.
Batman is a real guy,
He has
real
stories,
emotions,
man.
real.
They
They
bring
do.
Doomsday in on that fucking Batman versus Superman shit. So
And do nothing really with
it's
it.
so
To kill him, to bring him back.
They've only done the one Man of Steel,
And Batman vs Superman.
And that was the
That's
only
all
Superman
Henry
that they've
Cavill's done. Oh, and he was in Justice League.
and he's a perfect Superman.
Henry
You-
Cavill.
he's-
Well, I
you
love
can't
Henry
fucking
Cavill,
ca-
man.
You
He's
can't
so
create
good.
he's
a better Superman
yeah,
than him.
him
He
and-
looks like him.
and,
He's
what's his name? Christopher Reeves.
Yeah.
yeah.
No one talks
They
about.
are-
No one talks about Brandon Ralph in the Kevin Spacey one. Superman Returns. Remember that in like 2006 or 2007?
No.
That one. Exactly. You don't remember it. It's not good. He's not a good.
No,
Superman.
he is Superman.
Henry Cavill's awesome. He's so good. So
And now he's done. Right?
They've done Batman way too much, in my opinion.
Oh,
there's
that-
been
yeah.
there's been 3 Batmans in the last 10 years. When was The Dark Knight Rises?
Dark Knight Rises was
2012.
12.
So there's been 3 Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, now Pattinson
Yeah.
in 10 years.
See, the problem was
That's
that they were
embarrassing.
supposed to keep not that I disagree with the decision. I do like Pattinson. They were supposed to keep Affleck around longer.
Was it 12 or 10?
I did not like Affleck.
I think Batman Begins came out in 05. I think
yes,
Dark
and
Knight
then-
came out in 08.
Correct. And
And
then,
then it
10,
might have
I think
been-
in 10 or 11 because
Yeah.
they were only about 3 years in between.
I
So
thought
it
it
was either
was
10 or 11.
6, 9, and 12.
That might be right. I think that's right. Yeah, I think 2009 was Joker because it was
In
Heath Ledger's Joker.
Case, they've overdone Batman, so we'll continue.
Yeah. All right.
never gonna
So
stop.
in terms of a movie that is gonna just drive so much traffic this year, guys, you're gonna see it everywhere. There's gonna be so much talk of it. Ghostbusters Afterlife. I'm not the biggest Ghostbusters fan.
I was when I was a kid.
I enjoy it. I like it. I think it's great. But I know some people are a little bit worried about it because obviously what happened.
They're bringing
in 2016
everyone's coming back.
Yeah, and they have the son of Ivan Reitman directing it, Jason Reitman.
Wow.
Bringing it to
It'll
the fans.
probably be better than that all girls.
You're a big
bullshit.
You were a big Ghostbusters.
I used to
fan.
love Ghostbusters.
So you're gonna go see this?
Yeah, I'll go see it, but I was very thrown off by the last one.
Yeah, that
The
was-
all girls.
You saw it?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, I saw it too.
Don't watch it.
I didn't see it in the
I
theater.
did. I never
so-
planned on watching it. I can't believe you did.
Because I'm gonna go. I wanted to
Yeah.
see it.
I wanted to see what happened. I heard how bad it was.
Right?
Yeah.
It was horrendous.
It's so bad.
It was horrendous. They have what's his name who plays Thor in it?
Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth,
Yeah.
and they make him out. It's such a clear like
Demasculated.
we're gonna shit on the guy.
Like you wouldn't believe.
It's
He's
such
literally
a
the biggest
clear
moron to ever
version.
walk the earth in the movie.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's not well written. It was a mess of a production. The director let the cast run wild. It's not funny. It's not interesting.
It's not. It's just not.
But
And
I
it
do
bombed.
think that they're going,
financially bombed.
it
right?
financially did horrible. Some critics liked it, but all the fans hated it. But
That's because. Oh, you know why it bombed? Because what's his name wrote that article on?
oh yeah.
What's his name? The Greek name?
The
The gay kid. That's a conservative gay kid.
Oh, Milo Yiannopoulos.
Yeah. Didn't he write some? Didn't he get a lot of shit for that?
Oh
'Cause
yeah,
he wrote
he said some bad things about Leslie Jones. He said
Yeah.
some terrible things about it. But the movie bombed because it was terrible, plain and simple.
Yeah,
it
it
wasn't not.
But they were trying to blame like you guys. Everyone's not ready for a full female cast.
Yeah, and it
like,
had nothing to do with
like,
female. It just had to do with the movie was terrible. But it's because the other one was so bad that I do think they're going to do this one right because they're hiring the right
They're
people.
gonna do it
They're
right.
bringing back the original cast, and they got they're bringing back the original three
Bill
Ghostbusters. They're bringing them back. Yeah,
Bill Murray's
coming
Yes.
Wow.
Bringing back the original three.
I'm 100% in on
back. Yeah,
this.
and one of the guys died. I can't off the top of my head, I can't think of his name, but they're bringing back the original three Ghostbusters. Jason and Ivan Reitman's son is directing it, and they got the kids.
The original there was 2, 1 and 2, right? Or there was only
There's
one.
two.
There was
original
two
movies.
Two
originals,
originals,
and then
yes.
the third unofficial third was the female.
Yeah. Did they tie it into it?
No, it was a completely different universe because they had the Bill Murray and the other characters in it. The female
They
one,
did?
yeah, but they weren't playing themselves.
They weren't playing themselves.
They were playing like some
They were
guy
just
on the
regular
street.
people. Yeah, they were just regular schmoes. So
Alright.
in terms of just pure traffic, that movie's gonna be huge this year. Okay, another big, massive, gonna be a tentpole movie. Yeah, Tenet. Christopher Nolan's new
It looks awesome.
sci-fi time drama,
looks
which
fucking
no one
awesome.
really knows what this movie
I
is
love
yet.
Nolan, man.
I'm
I love
gonna watch
Nolan.
it because
I'll see anything Nolan
because
makes.
Me too.
Yeah, but I'm not. I don't know.
It looks awesome.
I'm not.
It
really
almost looks.
sold on the trailer.
Like,
I didn't
I'm
really love
sold.
the trailer.
I was sold. I think I was sold on that trailer.
I was confused. Like,
Yeah,
what the fuck is
I'm
going
confused
on?
too, but I think that's
a lot
part
of
of it.
I think a lot of those sci-fi, like when you first saw the Matrix trailer, you were like, "What is this?"
Why not make
Right.
Inception 2?
Nolan probably doesn't want to do sequels. He probably wants to keep writing original scripts. Which, hey, man, all power to him. No Warner Brothers is giving him 225 million dollars to make this
Yeah,
movie.
because
Holy
of his
crap!
track.
And you just said that it's a. Hey guys, can I have 225 million to make what's it about? Oh, it's my own original.
Yeah, unbranded, unfranchised,
knows what it is.
no previously known.
and not megastar.
Not a megastar.
Right.
Even though his father's
cast.
a megastar.
Right, John David Washington, Robert
The greatest
Pattinson,
actor.
good stars, but not like massive names that are going to carry the movie. This movie's being carried on Nolan. Let's be honest.
yeah.
I don't care how big of a star John David Washington is. One day maybe he will be, but this movie's carried on Nolan. At the end of the day, people are seeing this because it's a Nolan movie,
Yeah.
not because of Robert Pattinson and John David Washington. So let's see how this turns out. I think it's gonna be one of the
It
biggest.
looks really
movies of the year.
cool. I really
Morbius.
looks really cool.
Okay, next one. Yeah, Morbius. So a movie, I'll tell you the truth, I wasn't that hyped for. I didn't really care. I didn't really know a lot about him. But man, we saw the trailer. I think it looks really cool.
ties
into
It actually made
Spider-Man.
me care. Because I was like, oh, Jared Leto's doing a weird vampire Spider-Man
His second
offshoot,
chance
who
at
cares, you know?
I kind of knew he was like a
superhero.
vampire-y.
Yeah, he's called Morbius the Living
Spider-Man-
Vampire.
Spider-Man villain, I guess.
Yeah,
he's kind
villain.
Of
He's one. I think he's one of the Sinister Six.
He's kind of like Venom. Is he a villain? Is he?
Yeah, anti-hero
Yeah.
villain. So I wasn't that hyped, but I'll tell you, seeing the trailer, I think it looks cool. I'll probably be the one to see how that one turns out.
Jared Leto, you don't get one more chance at a superhero movie.
No, you don't. This is it, right?
Because
Joker didn't work out.
Didn't work out for you, bro.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so next one, Tim. This one's all you, man. The Many Saints of Newark. I
Many
know
Saints of
you have been
cannot
dying
wait.
for this.
I didn't even know this was coming. Then
coming.
Danny.
Yeah, Danny hit us up. I didn't
said
even
about
know.
this.
People weren't
Saints
even
in Newark.
talking
Yeah,
about it.
I first of all, his son looks so much like him.
James Gandolfini.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big Sopranos. You're the Sopranos guy. I'm not a big.
I'm a
Sopranos
huge
guy.
Sopranos fan.
So are you
is
worried they're
amazing.
gonna ruin it?
I still consider Sopranos to be the best TV show of all time.
That's because you've never seen Game of Thrones.
No, I haven't.
Continue
But
on.
a few years ago, they came out in the all of the writers, all the screen actors and writers in Hollywood, whatever that union that they're in.
Yeah, SAG.
They had a
Screen Actors
a
Guild.
list of 100 best shows of all time, and what was number one?
Yeah, it was.
Sopranos was number one.
Are you
That's because they butchered the last season.
Seinfeld
of
was like
fucking
number
Game of
3.
Thrones.
Anyway, yes, it's listen, he's got big shoes. Sopranos was the original like mega
premium
HBO
cable?
show,
Yeah,
TV
exactly.
show binge watch.
But
Like, you
they've
couldn't
had-
binge back then.
I
but
think they've had I think this is
They-
like
they
almost
pretty
perfect
much
timing
started
for
David
it.
Chase is doing this, right?
Yes,
David
he
Chase.
is.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
They
I think
pretty
this
much-
is almost perfect timing for it. It's like
They
it's
pretty
like
much started it.
You've been like kind of
Sopra-
there was like a
Sopranos
Fest or some
yeah,
shit.
Sopranos
Remember that?
Con.
Sopranos Con.
Sopranos came out in '99.
Yeah, it's
or '98.
a
Right.
long
Oh yeah,
time.
yeah. It was
long
exactly.
time.
It's been 20
But
years.
this,
20
listen,
years.
I don't know what this kid's been in, but he's to be a lead kid.
Yeah.
He's got big shoes to fill.
Exactly.
His
I was gonna
father's
say-
a master class actor.
Yeah,
He's one of the best.
Master
Yeah.
class
Yeah,
actor.
rest
Yeah.
in peace. Yeah.
So you're excited but a little worried.
I'm a little worried.
Okay.
I'm also a little worried of the corniness of it's. I don't know if I would have ever touched The Sopranos again. I think
I
it was
agree. I
kind of
understand.
like
I
you
get
let
that.
it be, and now it takes place in
I
the
don't mind it
70s,
at all.
70s and 80s when he's a kid in high school, and it's like him getting into the life.
yeah, I don't mind that. I think that's good.
And
it's a movie.
you don't want, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, you're right. They don't have to drag on.
It's
a million
not gonna be
episodes.
fucking filler episodes. It's gonna be.
You're gonna.
like
I don't know
his
how much
story.
you're familiar with Sopranos, but it's cool to go see Uncle Junior and his father
Okay.
alive, and
Yes.
his father was the boss in Newark, and he's in therapy all those years, so you kind of see.
Oh, what helped him have to go to therapy?
Yeah, like he had a fucked up childhood. and shit.
damage.
Seeing
You might
his-
actually see him get very
seeing his
violent
shit-
in this movie.
Seeing his shit his
Oh,
dad
okay.
did, and seeing the shit his mom was all fucked up.
See, that
and,
might make
like,
me wanna watch the series
His
now,
sister
I think
was
I'll see
all,
this.
he had a lot of family shit, and that's probably gonna show this.
and
And I don't think his father never wanted him to go into that life. Like
Oh, okay.
most fathers in that
Right, you would
life,
never
you don't want
choose
your
that
son
for your
for
son.
it. But his father passed. Like his father, I forgot how his father died. He might have got killed,
Okay.
and then his uncle took over. And so, if it's done right, I think it will be really cool.
I'm like really excited for it.
Like
actually.
they're gonna have to have cast characters of all his friends too, because he was friends with all those guys since he was young, like
Oh, I didn't even see- I didn't realize
Silvio.
that. Okay.
And so all those guys have to be casted, and they have flashbacks in Sopranos of him as a kid.
Oh, they do?
They do
Oh, see, I need
a
to
lot.
know
Like,
that.
there's a lot of
Okay.
episodes that flash back, and he's like 10 years old, 11 years old, and they have actors that played his dad and his uncle. Now I'm wondering, are they gonna go get those same actors?
No,
They got that.
Probably
They got
not,
that
right?
de aging though. They got that de aging.
Yeah.
They didn't have that back
No,
then.
but no. Well,
no, they're not.
and then they're gonna
I'm
they're gonna
fine.
have to have a young Christopher probably, because he was like a little kid. He's gonna be in it, so
All right, so that's.
He's a young.
he'd be young. He'd be like.
So
a
what
kid.
are your most hyped that you're like? You're really gonna.
I'm
be
gonna
there.
go see it.
Yeah, you'll be.
I'll
Okay.
absolutely go see
I'm gonna,
it.
maybe I'll watch the whole
But
series.
it's
and
all
then
it's
before- and
it's
then
all
lead
up
into
to
this.
it's all
You
up to
should
his
watch
son.
that
I
series,
should.
dude.
It's all up to his son.
You gotta watch.
If
You
it-
gotta
if
get up
his
on
son-
your mob shit,
I
bro.
know, I
If his
should.
son
I
can
know.
carry it, it's gonna be good. If he's got big shoes, it's a lot of pressure.
Oh, it's gotta be
Massive
indescribable
We don't
pressure.
have much time left, so let's get on.
Yeah,
to
let's keep moving. Okay, so
Venom
in
2?
October we have Venom 2 and Halloween Kills, 2 sequels to 2 movies that I think we both had some problems with but enjoyed.
Start with Halloween. I liked it. I'm a huge Halloween fan.
Yeah,
I
you're
fucking-
you're
I've
you're
seen-
bigger a Halloween fan
I've
than
seen
me.
every-
was not a big.
I've seen
fan.
every Halloween.
Right.
Going back the 70s,
Me too.
80s, every Halloween.
Me too.
It was good. It wasn't as good as I wanted it to be.
It was not.
I agree with
great.
that. It was solid. It was well made.
I
it
would
was
give
good,
it
was
like a
great.
6.5.
I would give it that exact score. It's not
Yeah.
even quite a 7. It's got some good moments and it's a fun
There's-
movie, but
There
it's
was
not
some of it
quite
that's like,
kill
oh,
in that
yeah.
bathroom when he
Yeah.
got the teeth were everywhere.
that.
That
yes.
was a great kill.
It's
Other than
definitely
that,
definitely the best of many attempted.
Oh yeah, well the
sequels
other ones
out
are schlock garbage. So yeah, this is infinitely way.
there.
ahead.
I didn't
heard
hate
that
the what's
word.
it names versions.
Oh no, not
Rob
even
Zombie?
those. The Rob
Rob
Zombie ones I
Zombies.
kind of liked. I'm talking about the ones where it's like Halloween 3, 4, 5,
Oh,
6, and
those
then
are like-
the
yeah,
ones
yeah,
from
yeah.
the 80s and
Busta
early
Rhymes
90s.
was in one of them, right?
Oh, H2O or something.
Yeah, when they're in the
Yeah.
Hazard reality. People shit on the Rob Zombie ones. Hate them.
I like the first one. The second one's okay.
people shit
People
on
say that
them.
they're utter trash.
The first one was.
I
with
thought
the
they
little
were
kid,
cool.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
But
one
everyone
was
didn't
really
like
good.
that. Everyone's like, we don't want to see how he became that way. Like, we don't want to. You shouldn't feel bad for him. He had a fucked up. It should be like a mystery, kind of like it's just the way he is. He kills people. Like that's what people's complaints were. But I was like, I thought it was cool. They showed him at a fucked up.
I like the first one.
Yeah.
I like the first.
What do you guys think of Venom? I liked Venom.
Venom was like a 7.5.
Yeah, it was solid.
Again,
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy and
I
Venom.
love Tom Hardy. I'm a huge Tom Hardy fan.
That's the thing. Even though the first one wasn't that great, I'm still hyped to see the second.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be there.
It was good. I didn't love it.
Day one.
It got better
me
as
too.
the movie went on.
Yeah.
Kind of in the beginning, I was kind of.
I like how he was going back and forth with Venom and his dad.
The interplay.
Listen, we all know what they have to tie this into Spider-Man. They have to.
I think they're
It's
going
gonna
to.
happen.
I think they're going
And
to.
Because you can only.
Yeah.
How many?
That's right. They got Woody Harrelson.
Carnage.
That's going to be. I'm so glad you said
sick.
that. That's going to be
That's
fantastic.
gonna be fucking awesome. And then if they can bring Spider-Man into it,
Carnage is going to be sick. But yes, eventually.
that would fucking. Oh man.
Carnage is going to be sick.
That would be so ill.
Yeah. I think that's a big part of it.
Eventually,
You
you can't
wanna just
put solo Venom movies anymore. You got to tie it into Spider-Man. That's what I mean. Venom and Spider-Man is like fucking spaghetti and meatballs.
Yeah, you got it. I think they're going to, especially with Carnage. Okay, so guys, the last couple before we wrap up our big movies of the year, Eternals, Marvel's big superhero movie, and Coming to America. I think these are both going to be for different reasons. Obviously, they're going to be huge. Eternals, we don't know.
I don't know much about
anything
Eternals.
Yeah, we know they got Angelina Jolie and they got a big cast, and it's going to be this.
I don't even know this story from the comics.
It's just like they're like cosmic gods.
They're almost like what's his name's dad.
Yeah, notice this is going to be their. This is what this is going to be. Their new attempt at like Guardians of the Galaxy with their outer space god. But we haven't seen a trailer yet, so we really don't know a lot about it. But I think it's fair enough to say it's going to be on our list because, man, it could be amazing. It could be. Who knows? Maybe it'll be mediocre. Maybe that's the beginning of the downfall of Marvel's movies. But maybe it's going to be just crazy good.
I fucking love Coming to America.
I was gonna say the three of us are.
I love it.
I'm such a huge Eddie Murphy fan.
Yeah.
But I'm scared, man.
Notice it's not going to be as good as the first
Arsenio
one.
Hall's coming back, right?
Oh yeah, they're all coming back.
Everyone's back, but the mother.
The woman.
Even Louis Anderson's coming back.
Really?
Yeah.
Everyone is back, but the mother.
James Earl Jones is back.
Wesley Snipes is in this.
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones is back. They finished filming.
They're done. They're doing post production now.
So
wow.
I just like.
The first one was such a classic.
Yeah.
Such a classic.
It's an all-time.
You know what
great.
it reminds me of? Dumb and Dumber was such a great movie.
Yes.
And the fucking 15, whatever years
later.
It
was like not good.
It was so
mediocre.
It was
actually
so
first time it got funnier. I saw it the first time I was like, this is fucking horrible.
I haven't watched
it. I think because they just looked like old, washed up guys.
It seemed
like it just looked.
It looked
weird.
They were not
too
the
old
same
to play
characters.
No,
yeah.
they changed too much.
Yeah, they were not the same.
It was hard for them to go back and play that role they played so many years ago. It was just not funny, and I don't know.
But how are they going to recapture that now for Coming to America?
They overplayed the dumb
shit.
Yeah.
Like
Coming to America is going to have that problem where how much of the original do you have to grasp onto, and then
what's
how
the
much
premise? His
I don't know, and I don't even.
I read the premise.
The premise is the king is dying, and he needs to find an heir to the throne, and he's got a love child somewhere. Like the idea is that Akeem had a kid
when he was here.
And now he's got to go back and find. He's in Zamunda. He's got to go back to Queens and find him.
Yeah,
and bring him into the royal family.
He's with that woman.
He's with Lisa.
But he followed some other girl.
Yeah, he followed a love child. So let's see what happens with it. I think this is.
I hope I'm such an Eddie Murphy.
This is going to be a good year for movies.
So he's got to come back and find his son.
Yeah, come back and find his son.
And his son's probably all right.
Yeah,
maybe
he's going to be like 30 something. The idea is the movie was 30 years ago, so he's going to be around his early 30s. I think this is going to be a good year for movies, guys. But this list, as much as I am excited for it, it's not quite the year we just had.
No.
And speaking of the year we just had, before we jump off of here, we have to talk about the Oscars. The Oscars are in 2 weeks. We're obviously going to do another show talking about what happens on there. But before...
Best cinematography,
we have to talk
1917.
1917 was so
such
good.
A fucking good... It's a good movie.
It's so friggin' good.
You saw it?
Did you see 19? Oh, man. I think it's going to be the favorite.
I'll give it an 8, 8.5.
Me too. I loved it. Not the most original story, but just so technically well crafted.
How much did that movie cost to make?
I think it cost like about 100.
The cinematography in that, they made it look like it was one continuous shot.
Yeah, they did a lot of those
even
continuous
though
shots.
It wasn't, but it was like it was seamless.
It was incredible.
And
it's gonna win. It's gonna win. Best
liked that it wasn't like it was like it's a war movie, but it wasn't like I'm gonna fight. I can kill everyone.
Yeah, it's not about
like you see fucking fear.
Yeah, no, it was a realistic war movie.
Yeah, these are like kids. They're like 25-year-old soldiers. Like
when shit starts popping off, you see him like, all right,
freaking out.
I'm scared right now.
You think Sam Mendes is gonna win Best Director too?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he's a shoo-in. Like you look at the Best Director.
I don't even know what's
like if you look at the Best Director category, I'll say it right now. Like there's just I just don't see how he could lose. Like it's just too.
I think these award shows are fucking set up. Bro.
Like okay, no, it is. Martin Scorsese is gonna get nominated for The Irishman, and we didn't get a chance to really talk about Irishman, but the Academy might just give it to him for Best Director.
Yeah, just because
has he won?
Who he is?
Oh, Scorsese's won for a director before, yeah, but with The Irishman and like how it's like that gangster epic.
But The Irishman fell short to me
a little bit.
It did for me a little.
Hey, listen, it's a jam-packed category. You got Scorsese. Listen, you got Quentin Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know, Hollywood loves to stroke its own ego. So maybe they're gonna give it to him. It really is. I shouldn't have said it's a tight category, but it's gonna be a tight race because it's not just obviously Sam Mendes as great of a job we agree that he did.
Cinematography definitely.
Oh, cinematography, no question. Director is going to be the problem
he's not
because that has the politics of the guy behind it. Cinematography, not as much. Listen, we got to talk about the one with the most nominees, Joker. Who thought it was going to get whether you like the movie
Joker
or not?
A lot better than
11 nominations, but that's shocking.
But the noms are fucking outrageous.
Even the people who love the movie, no one thought it was getting 11 noms. It got screenplay, it got best actor, it got director, cinematography, best director.
I think everyone's acting.
Plus,
I think you got to give it to Joaquin.
Plus, you have to look at how small budget was and how much money.
That's monumental of him winning best actor in a superhero.
Well, remember Heath Ledger did it for Joker 2. Imagine if another guy wins
Heath
for
Ledger
Joker.
did it.
Heath Ledger won best actor that year.
Yep,
but
they gave it to him posthumously for Joker. For Dark Knight.
Even though I don't even disagree with that,
because
he was awesome, but maybe it was because he
passed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be. This is gonna be a weird year at the Oscars too. Because
did his brother win? Did River Phoenix win?
I don't know. I think
he was nominated.
I'm telling you right now. I think it's locked. I think that's the easiest race to say.
I think his brother was nominated for best supporting when he was.
Was he? It's gonna be. I think it's locking in. Danny's not as confident. Our producer Danny's not. He thinks there's no way he's gonna win. You think it's gonna be an upset? Danny? Who do you like? Who do you think is gonna win best actor?
I don't know, but it's definitely not him.
Listen, it's.
I'll put the money on it right now.
I bet anything.
Vegas
I bet
is
my
saying
house
he's winning.
On Joaquin. Listen, it's Antonio Banderas for Pain and Glory, which I heard is great, but I haven't seen it. Leo for Hollywood. Adam Driver, Marriage Story, which I didn't love. I know Tim. I know you didn't love that movie either. Good movie, not great.
The acting was very good.
Acting was great. I wouldn't care. I
wouldn't be mad if he won for best actor because of that movie, but
again,
it was a little bit of an easier role to play than what Joaquin had to do for
Phoenix,
Joker.
And then you had Jonathan Pryce for The Two Popes, which I saw that movie. Good movie. But Price is not winning. He's going up against Driver, Leo, and Banderas.
I'm gonna put a fucking bet in because I
agree with you. I would put almost anything. He can't. I cannot see how he'll lose.
Especially after all the hype and all that. I think he's gonna win.
You guys want to talk about some snubs? Man, Frank, you and I thought Uncut Gems could have got a little bit more love.
Uncut Gems was
an excellent movie.
I was rooting for a Sandler nom here.
I know. They didn't even give him the Best Picture nomination. I know a lot of movies get snubbed. I know that a lot of people thought The Farewell got snubbed.
You felt like in that movie, man, so anxious in that. You're sitting down in that seat. You felt so anxious.
And I don't think it's fair just to say, because it's Sandler and he finally did a good movie. I'm no, it's a good movie. It stands on its own. It's a good movie.
You want him to keep doing stuff like that. You enjoy it.
Keep doing it. Yeah. Yes, please.
He said on Stern, what did he say? He's like, if I don't get nominated for an Oscar, I'm going to do another 10 fucking shitty movies.
Yeah. So that's another one. So the other movie that I recently saw that I think should get some love, and I think it's going to win a lot of technical stuff, Ford v Ferrari, man.
I did not see that.
I just saw it with Damon and Bale. Bale continues to show he is one of the best. He's one of the best in the game. He's just so good. It's like he just becomes every character. I think that movie could sneak in some other categories besides the technical ones. I'd be shocked if it won Best Picture, which we can talk about in a sec if you want. But, man, Ford v Ferrari was shockingly good. I knew it was going to be good, but, man, I really
liked it. Back to Gems
it.
One more time just for one question. It sucks that he didn't get nominated and win anything, even Golden Globe.
The actor category is jam-packed this year.
Yes, but did he prove himself?
Yes.
Did he prove him to the naysayers? You're an Adam Sandler naysayer a lot of times.
Only because I used to be such a fan and I got turned off.
But did he prove himself to say he can act? He can.
100%. There's no question he can.
I never doubted that.
You never doubted that.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you?
I doubted it only because he had done so many bad movies for so long.
Thought,
that I'm like, oh, he's just doing crap. He can't do it anymore. He's just gonna keep doing garbage because it's easy for him.
No,
I never doubted he could act.
I love Sandler, so I didn't.
But so no matter what, if anyone sees that movie, they'll say, okay, I was wrong. He can act.
Oh, there's no question.
Yeah.
He becomes this character.
Yeah, you agree?
With Gems? See, Danny didn't like Gems as much as us.
He did not like it as much as I did.
I'll actually say that it's harder to be a comedian actor than it is to be an actor.
It's not easy to be a comedian.
No, it's not because it's all timing and it's all subjective.
Yeah.
If you're a dark, dramatic, serious actor like Bale, as hard as it is to do the performances he does, you can just be that serious actor. But if you're gonna do comedy, you gotta really be zoned in on like what you're doing. It's that next level. It's just different. So, listen, guys. Okay, so before we wrap this up, Best Picture: Ford v Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. Parasite's going to win Best Foreign Film. There's no question, so I'm going to write it off, even though it's a fantastic movie. I'd recommend everyone go see it. What do you guys think for Best Picture?
I think Joker's going to win.
I think Joker's going to win.
You think Joker's going to win Best Picture?
Yeah.
I do, too.
So you think it's going to win Best Picture and Best...
Out of what you just read?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Because I've seen...
I don't think The Irishman's going to win. I could see Marriage Story winning.
Best Picture? You think Marriage Story is going to win Best Picture? I don't think so. I think Hollywood loves its...
I have no interest
You think Hollywood
in
wants to give
watching
it to itself, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? I could see it. Hollywood congratulating.
I don't know.
I think the easy... If you're a betting man...
I don't think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's going to win it. I think it's either... I think
Pull up the odds.
I'll say Irishman and Joker.
I agree. I think pull up the odds, Tim. I'll be interested to see on it.
Irishman
I think
and Joker.
Irishman and Joker are the easy leads. I think 1917 is right there. I think 1917 could easily be the jump.
I think it could be, but it doesn't have the hype that these two movies have. And the hype usually is what carries these awards.
But I think Joker though is going to get the best actor, and they're just
It
going to say
doesn't
it's going
matter.
to get the.
It doesn't matter.
I feel like sometimes the voters kind of say like, we're going to give a guy this for this movie, and we're going to lay off on this.
And that's
one.
the bullshit of fucking awards.
Well, it's politics.
Yeah.
I understand.
Fuck these awards.
But listen, Little Women's not going to win.
I never like awards.
Jojo Rabbit is I didn't love that movie.
Best Picture.
Yeah, what are those odds? Come on, it's got to be Irishman or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood in the lead. I would assume.
1917.
Is the favorite.
Fuck
really?
but
But is it close or is it a far and away favorite? I bet you it's close.
Yo, you gotta watch it, bro.
Ford vs Ferrari's plus 20,000.
Which means it compared
and 1917 is minus 200.
So 1917 is the easy favorite then.
Yeah.
I saw 1917.
Parasite is plus 300, the next in line.
See, it's gonna win best. But I feel like Parasite's gonna
Once
win best
upon
foreign film.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's the third favorite. Joker's the fourth favorite. Irishman's the fifth favorite.
Wow.
Jojo Rabbit, Marriage Story, Little Women. Ford vs Ferrari is by far the odd man out. And that's your best bet. 20,000.
On which one's
plus 20,000? Ford vs Ferrari.
I'm shocked. That is a very good movie. That's a shocking movie.
The easy favorite right there is 1917.
Yeah, he's right.
Out of here.
Yeah. Ford v Ferrari being behind Little Women, a movie that nobody's. Irishman is plus 4,000. It's fifth on the list. I would feel like that. Even if you told me it wasn't second or third, I'd say it's not fourth. And Hollywood is ahead of Irishman. Man, 1917 or Parasite.
Vegas is usually correct.
They usually are. They
might go to 1917.
What does TMZ say?
That's a good one too. That's a good one to say.
I don't know.
Wow, yo, I saw 1917 in the AMC Dolby Digital.
Was it incredible? I've been hearing good things.
And
awesome,
Joaquin
dude.
Phoenix is by far.
What? Okay, yeah. Give me I don't want to fall down the rabbit hole of odds here, but yeah, what's his odds?
He's minus 3,335.
You gotta lay $3,000 to win 100.
Yeah.
That tells you right there he's winning. There's no doubt. Someone knows the votes.
Adam Driver's plus 1,000.
Second for Marriage.
Tony Banderas is plus 3,300.
Okay.
And then it's Jonathan Price.
Leo, then Jonathan
Leo's
Price?
Leo's last, plus 5,000.
Wait, Leo's behind Jonathan Price?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so that tells you right there. It's Joaquin Phoenix and a bunch of everyone else. I don't want to say nobody's, but lesser. He's already won.
The fact that Leo's never won Best Actor.
No, he won for Revenant.
Oh, okay.
Which was thankfully because
Okay.
he should have won for Wolf of Wall Street.
No, you won for Revenant, thank God.
Yeah, exactly. He had to win. That was a film. All right, guys. So I think that wraps it up. I feel like it's going to be an interest. The Oscars. Let's admit the Oscars, which not great every year.
They're not going with a host again.
Oh, I said that in my video last year. What a mistake! I said I did it. Go watch the video. Go on my Instagram and look. Last year I said you have to have a host next year.
They did. They're not.
No, somebody has to clip that and send that to the.
No, it's ridiculous.
What a mistake!
It was a mistake. It's a mistake.
Was Alicia? I heard Alicia Keys got a lot of shit. She wasn't a good host,
really
right?
meant that.
Oh, for the Grammys?
Yeah.
I didn't see most
Stern
of
was
it.
joking on her.
Oh yeah, she was like just saying nonsense the whole night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch it at the Grammys. Or I haven't.
All
You
right.
want me to rant about the Grammys? I'll rant about the Grammys. But yeah, not having a host this year is dumb. But I am interested in seeing these awards. I think it's a pretty, as much as there are heavy favorites as you've just read, it's a pretty wide open field of great. That's why I don't think this year is going to be as good of a year for movies as last year. Because look at the movies we're saying. We're saying Irishman, Uncut Gems, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Joker.
but there'll be movies
These
that
are
come
powerful,
along,
strong movies.
along the road.
Yeah, there's gonna be movies that we don't know about.
Yes, that's what
but
I'm
I think that
saying.
this year is so greatly wide open with just directors and actors and
It's only
nominations.
time will tell. I'll tell you what, I'm definitely not watching the fucking Oscars. So
Oh, I gotta see. I want to see how.
I'll
that
just
turns
wait
out.
to see from you.
Yeah. All right, guys. So before we wrap up, do our shameless plug. Come see us on Anchor.fm.
Like, subscribe,
Yeah,
comment, all that
comment,
kind of
subscribe. Anchor.fm/MTDS. On Instagram, it's Movies That Don't Suck with 2 Ks. Hit us. We're available on all podcast platforms. Spotify,
All of
Apple,
them.
Google.
Anywhere you listen, we're here.
Yeah, anywhere you want to check us out. And we'll be back after the Oscars. We got to wrap up and see what happened there.
We'll
and then
see.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
All right, guys. So we're out. We'll see you next time.
Right.
Take care.
That was the best.